Last November and the winter were really hard on a lot of shrubs in a lot of parts of Nebraska, especially things in the willow family. Curly willow, like this one in the background, either went to the ground entirely or had a lot of dead branches in it, and then just a few of those stems continue to grow. So our viewers are wondering what in the world you do about it, since we're now in mid-June. It looks like our pattern of rain in some parts of the state is ending. In other parts of the state, it's already been a little bit dry. This is when we have to decide whether we're going to keep this plant or cut it down. And one of the issues with an old shrub like this is that if you take it all the way to the ground, it may or may not have enough vigor to survive. So what we're recommending is go ahead and take these shrubs back to a good live cane, give it a chance, don't do any fertilization or those kinds of things this year. Let it be, see if it'll recover. The same thing is going to be true of a lot of other shrubs in managed landscapes, and we'll take a look at a couple of those here in a second. We're also seeing a lot of shrubs do what these viburnums did, and that is that they may have had enough vigor to be able to leaf out earlier in the season, and then all of a sudden you're seeing these dead tops or dying tops. You're seeing foliage beginning to wilt in spite of the fact that there is new good growth at the base of the plant. A couple of things might be in play here, one of them being if it's an older shrub or one that was under stress to begin with. The environmental conditions really gave it a double whammy. You're seeing a lot of bark spalling off on the base of these. And many times what we recommend with larger, older shrubs is you take out those big canes because borers can get in and do a lot of damage. So the cure for this kind of shrub is going to be to get rid again of all of this top growth, cut down to where you see the new growth emerging, allow that to stay over this season. Don't do any pruning on that to begin with. You'll shape that shrub later in the second or third year. One of the concerns about dieback in a shrub like the viburnum that we just looked at is that what is regrowing from the base may be reverted to an original species. Nevertheless, it may recover. A little bit simpler situation is something like this 9-bark, and we did see a lot of tip dieback on shrubs like Diablo 9-bark, the straight species, Weigelia, some of the finer spireas. You'll notice that this one bloomed incredibly profusely, which was beautiful, and the dead tips have not emerged with any foliage whatsoever. Those can simply be clipped off, but the other thing that is happening is a large amount of brand new growth. You can see that actually shooting up above the old blooming stems. And that happens on a shrub that blooms on wood that is current year wood. So what you can do with this is you can actually go in, take out the tips, take a look at where that new growth is coming up, let it be until next year, prune before it flowers in the spring, and you are likely to have a really beautiful shrub.